Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know you see only one box here. Don't worry, I haven't lost my mind and decided to actually be conservative in my purchasing. I've got several models behind me already on the layout, but today we're taking a look at the HO scale 64-foot Trinity Reefer. We're looking at these in both Tropicana, or I should say Tropicana Union Pacific and CGFX versions, so we'll take a look at all three, and I'll show you what you get in this Trinity Reefer. Now this is a BLMA tooling that Atlas acquired, so we may have covered pretty similar in the past, so it will be pretty brief, but let's go ahead and get into this right now. Alright, unboxing, pretty easy. Just pull the end here. Very little paperwork, which I like. I really think that we should be going pretty much paperless and online, but you know, I understand. Some people like the paperwork, but there's a warranty and there's another sheet about the warranty in there. That's pretty much it on this paperwork. Then you have the model itself. Pop open plastic shell, model pops out, and there you have it. Now I've got a couple other versions we'll grab, and I've got the entire Tropicana train from this run. So there's Tropicana, you'll see CGFX, and we'll take a look at the Union Pacific with the kind of anti-graffiti high patch or high reporting marks with a low patch on it. But we'll start with the Tropicana real quick. So similar, sorry for the bump there, similar to the ends and details of the BLMA model, you've got separately applied air conditioning unit, etched metal crossover platform, you've got the refrigerant tanks underneath in this cage area here, step ladder, coupler cut lever on the end, which is yellow. You got your stirrups there. Tropicana logo is sharp and clear, looks really, really nice. I was planning on getting the Tropicana train for a long time, never did, and then finally bit the bullet on this run. So you see the door here, you've got door latch detail, you have the railings, slide railings for the door modeled appropriately, even the door hatch and locking and all the warning mechanisms, warning labels and locking mechanisms listed there. Door stop here. You've got your FRA mandated safety stripes there on the side, load limit detail. It's probably legible if we zoom in. And it is, you can see the build date and all of that detail there. It even says block bolster before jacking there by the jacking pad. On the other end, there's more detail. So we have brake wheel detail, brake chain detail going over to the crossover platform of the coupler cut lever. These are metal couplers, by the way. And I'll show you more of the same detail on the other side of this Tropicana before we look at the other versions. There's a good side profile there to see the depth of the railing and the door detail. And there's a side profile of the tanks in the air conditioner unit. Here's the Union Pacific version. One thing you'll notice that's different is the air conditioning unit's a different type of air conditioning unit. Obviously, paint scheme's going to be different. There may be some other minor details I miss on this, but you have the Union Pacific logo on the side, Building America, high reporting marks with a patch down below from where the reporting marks used to be, I believe. That's what that patch represents. This is to prevent the graffiti people from covering up the road number of the piece of rolling stock. More detail, as we'd already mentioned on this end. You've got excess height car on the end, you've got your reporting marks on the end and some other labeling as well. There's a quick 360 of UP. Last but not least, CGFX. As you can see here, they also released some UP low reporting marks, so I've just got so many of these. I ordered the other ones, and you can see some variations there as well. Again, differences with the air conditioner unit. This one is a third type of air conditioning unit there. The tanks are black versus white on the Tropicana. There's little silver ends on the tanks there, more warning labeling on the end, etc. Let's take a look at the underbody detail. We sometimes miss that. You can see the brake line rigging, air reservoirs for the brake air, metal wheels, etc. You also have, I want to say, nope, they're stationary bearing caps. I thought they might be roller bearing caps, but they're stationary, but you do have the reporting marks stamped on the truck as well, as you can see right there, peeking out. All right, that's it for 360. Taking a look at the scale here, this weighs almost 6 ounces, 5.7 ounces. So we'll get the NMRA compliance here in a moment once I measure the length. So these cars measure 9.5 inches long with the air conditioning unit and end cage there on the end. So that should be 4.75 ounces plus the initial ounce, as the NMRA suggests. So it's a ½ ounce for each inch. So it should be 5.75, and that's pretty much where they're at. So very NMRA compliant. I already did the wheel sets too off camera. Those are compliant with the NMRA, no out of gauge wheel sets. So good to go in those respects. Should track well. All right, as far as the cars go, they're free rolling. Body wobble. There's a little bit of body wobble. As you see, it's kind of going there. That can be adjusted sometimes by tightening the trucks. But definitely free rolling. You're going to be able to run as many of these as you want. So no issue there. Coupler height is also good, speaking of NMRA compliance. So all that leaves is my final thoughts in the run by. Final thoughts is just as well executed as their previous models. The only issue I found on the whole model is maybe a little bit of body wobble, and I went through some of the other ones, and there was some that were, some that weren't. So it makes me think that maybe it's just a truck tightening issue. So we'll leave you with a run by of the Tropicana ones, with the CGFX and UP in the front, and then or in the rear, but a Tropicana train essentially. So hopefully you enjoy that. We'll see you next time right here on the channel. Take care.